Hi friends, this is Jamie. I want to welcome you to my channel today. Hope everyone is doing well and staying safe. Today I have a product review for you guys. I was contacted by the Hippie Crafter a little while ago, and they offered to send me some of their products to share on the channel. And they have sent me here, as you can see right in front of you, some sketchbooks. Now, when you buy the sketchbooks, you get two in a bundle. So I have two here. As you can see, they're a very fun, unique sketchbook with a spiral bound. And they're 9 by 12 inch sketchbooks. So they're a larger sketchbook. And there's 65 pound 100 GSM, and it's an acid-free premium paper sketchbook, and it's a natural white color, so it's more like an eggshell color in this book compared to like a white copy paper type of thing. So yeah, I'm doing a voiceover, if you guys can't tell, so hopefully I can get everything right. I will put links to all the products that I share with you guys down in the description box below, and they're not affiliate links, they're just Amazon basic links, and also I will put the Hippie Crafter's website in the description box below. Here I'm just showing that it's perforated, and I have taken a paper out and put it in my printer and printed off this cute little chibi image. This image is from Yam Puff's website, and she offers lots of free PDF images. So I thought I would just print this off so we can test out the paper. Now, it is nice that this is perforated, so you can remove it, but you can treat it like a traditional sketchbook and leave all the pages in it if you would like. And it has the nice spiral binding, so that makes things nice. And what we're going to do here is, this paper is textured, and I think it's designed so you can use your pencils in it, and you can use markers, basically dry media. You wouldn't want to use wet media on this. It's not a watercolor paper. It might do okay with a water-based marker, but you would want to be careful not to scrub like back and forth really hard. Here I'm showing a white piece of paper compared to the sketchbook, just so you guys can see the difference in color. If you do use a water-based marker, I wouldn't like scrub into the page because it would probably tear up the paper like in our adult coloring books. So you would just have to be precautious with that, as we do with our adult coloring books. Right here, it's just, I was just pointing out that it's meant for dry media, which I mentioned before. Sorry for my squeaky voice. So I'm just kind of giving you an overview of what this sketchbook looks like. And it has 100, I think it had 100 sheets in it. Yeah. So quite a few pieces of paper in this book that you could have plenty of fun printing off PDFs. So what we're going to do is we're going to test out another product that they sent me on this paper of our chibis, and they sent me the 72 premium colored pencils. Now, these pencils are oil-based pencils according to Amazon. I did some research and it said that they were oil-based, and they have this little cover that comes on the tin. It's just a paper cover. I'm just going to cut it off here so we can get in. I haven't actually opened these pencils yet. You guys get to see them for the first time with me. And I'm just going to slide this off here. On the back here, it just says there are 72 colored pencils. It shows some other products that they have. You can find these products on their website. Their website is listed below, hippiecrafter.com. They're a premium pencil, and it says that they blend well, and it just kind of gives you some little pro tips on here too. It does recommend these pencils for their sketchbook. So that is why we're going to color in a sketchbook paper today when we test out these pencils to see basically the best results of these pencils in their paper. And it also says if you color harder, you're going to get more of a rich, vibrant pigment. And if you want a softer, lighter color, lighten up the pressure. So, yeah, I'm just showing that website there. We're going to open up the tin and look at these beauties. Right away, you see all the little circles with the peace sign. We have a little thank you card that folds out here. And inside the fold out is just an example of different products that they have that you can find on their website. And I believe most of these products, or maybe all of them, you probably can find on Amazon as well. I haven't researched every single product, but I know quite a few of their products are listed on Amazon, or you can go straight to the hippiecrafter.com. I am interested in several of these products. I think a lot of them could be utilized in adult coloring, and they would be fun to play with. And they do offer a watercolor paper as well as the sketchbooks. I'm just pointing that out here. And then right here gives all their social media information. So you can tag them or send them reviews or send them emails or whatever you would like to do. All the social media information. Now just looking at these pencils as a first glance. There was a little bit of debris on my pencil, like pencil dust. And I just brushed it off with my little brush, my pencil brush that I use. And we're just kind of looking at the pencil here. It says salmon pink on it, and then there is a number, and then the dipped end says Hippie Crafter. And it's like a shiny silver lettering. And the end of the pencil is a blunt end, but it has been sharpened, pre-sharpened. They do look very similar to a Castle Art pencil. They're basically as wide as like a Castle Art or a Mark Art pencil. It has 3 trays of pencils, as you can clearly see. The ranges of browns is not very much. There's some, but there's not an abundance of browns. Now there is quite a few greens and greenish blues and blue, and there's not very many grays. As you can see, there's only a few grays, and they have quite a few purples. So if you like to use grays a lot, this is very much a starter set. It doesn't have too many grays in it. I'm just examining this pencil because it's the first time opening the box. Just checking for breakage or anything like an off core, but they look pretty good. Now I do notice that these dipped ends look the same, but on the top here, as you can see on the lead, one is definitely more pink and the other is red. So if you're going off of the lead color, you're going to have a more accurate look. Now this yellow one does have some breakage, but I'm going to sharpen it in my AFMAT electric pencil sharpener just to see how good of a point we can get. And as you can see, we've got a really nice point. I didn't have any breakage or pencil lead pulling away from the wood of the pencil, which is always a plus. And it lines up with the other pencils. You didn't lose a lot of pencil when sharpening, which is always a plus as well. Now I'm going to try to move this over so we can color on our picture here. I'm just going to try to adjust things on my desk to the best view as I can get it. At first I thought, oh, I'll do it on the left, but then I thought that wasn't the best view, so I switched to the right. And I am using my cutting mat underneath my image so it has a nice solid surface to rest on. If I use the soft mat or even paper underneath, it's gonna give me a different result. I always use some kind of cutting mat behind my pencil colorings to give the best results possible, and so the pencils don't punch through the paper if the paper is thinner. Now I'm taking a few different colors of pinks because we're going to try a blend here, and I am sharpening these beforehand. A lot of times when you get brand new pencils, there can be a white film on top of the pencil lead. So that's why it's always good to sharpen your pencils for the best results for the first time before you use them. And this isn't really a shading tutorial or anything, but how I start off when I do blending or shading right here is I'm starting with the darker and then I move into the lighter. And when I start with darker, I do medium pressure to light pressure, and then I add the lighter shade as well. And then I blend it all in with either a really light shade or a white. So here I'm just creating my blend with these pencils. This is the darker, just going on the outskirts of the edges there with the darker. As you can see, we have a pretty decent blend, but I want to see how well it will do if we use our white to basically burnish through the center. And as you can see, that blended out very nicely with the white. The white is not as opaque as like a Prismacolor white. I think that the Polychromos white might be a little bit better, but for a student grade pencil, this is a very good white. It actually does blend your pencils together. I have had many student grade sets that the white is pretty much garbage. It doesn't work. It doesn't do anything to help you. This white does do its job, which is a very big plus. As I said, when I researched this on Amazon, it was oil-based, and that also helps it so that it doesn't have massive debris. I was just checking it, and it didn't have lots of debris. It does have a little, but not nearly the amount that I've experienced with other pencils. I'm just putting those pinks back. We're going to try a different color blend now, but I'm just kind of giving you an idea of what you see. Now there is a nice little sheen to it, which makes you think, oh, this must be wax, but it's not. It is the oil based. And it did take quite a few layers. Now, I'm going to do a yellow-orange blend now. Let's see what we think about that. Taking the darker, just like I did with the pink on the edging. As you can see, I just put the darker there on the edge, just like I did with the pink. And this is like a autumn gold, I believe is the color. I'm just going over the sides a little bit, and then I'm going to try to blend it all together, doing the darker again, with the pastel yellow. And I use a little bit heavier pressure, and you can see the buildup that I have created here. Now this did have a little more debris than the white, but still not too bad. And I'm actually very pleased with that blend. It's very bright and vibrant, adding that lighter yellow next to that orange. I think that would be a great color palette for like a pumpkin. Yeah, I think it performed beautifully, especially on this paper. And with this paper having a little bit of texture, you can lay down quite a few layers of pencil before you blend it all together, which is definitely a plus in my mind. Now let's pick something a little darker so we can maybe see the texture of the paper just a little more. By choosing the lighter colors, it makes it so that you can't see the texture of the paper. So I am choosing a royal blue and a cyan blue, and they're quite a big jump between each other in color, as you can see here. And I've already sharpened them, so they're nice and sharp. And I think I'm going to do a little piece of her hair this time, so we have more of a space here. Now, when I'm doing hair, I always put in the shadows first. It's easier for me to do it this way than putting in the light first. That just works for me. So as you can see, I am just adding in this darker color, and the texture in the paper is showing through on my like through the pencil. You can see the little white specks through the pencil, but that's okay, because that gives me more opportunities to just keep layering and layering in there. Now I'm going to go in with the lighter shade here to kind of blend it out a little bit. Or I guess add another color for blending. And as you could tell, it wasn't like the color right next to it in the package, but it still layers on top of each other very beautifully because it's still in the blue family. And I am not coloring with a heavy pressure. This is just a normal medium type pressure. Now getting into the highlight area, I do lighten up my pressure quite a bit because I don't want to lose my highlight area. And then I bring in some more darker. I'm just seeing how many layers I can put on this paper before it just says, no way, Jose, you cannot color on me anymore. So I'm just going over, adding more layers, trying to help my blend more and more. A lot of polycolor pencils or oil-based pencils, you do a lot of layering to create perfect blends. And this seems to be doing the job as well. Now I'm pulling even a lighter shade of blue to bring into the family here. And I'm sharpening it so it'll be nice and sharp for us. And I am going in over the top of my highlight area. Now I'm still just using a medium pressure. I'm not burnishing. I'm just using a medium pressure. And then I'm going to take my darker, bring in some more dark. Again, you have seen I've gone in with just this section several times now, and I'm still able to put pigment down on paper. And I'm even going to pull my white pencil. I'm going to try to blend it like I did with that pink. Now I'm using the heavy pressure here to blend in my highlight here. And you can see after I move my hand that blended out beautifully. I'm using the lightest blue to blend out just a little bit on the bottom where the darkest part was, because I didn't want to drown out all the dark, because the white is pretty opaque in regards to blending. So I want to make sure we don't lose our definition. But as you can see, that is a really good blend. Now there was some debris as I'm sweeping it off a little bit, but it's not bad considering I did a lot of layers there. I mean, you guys saw how many times I went over and over. Now I'm taking the darker one, even though we burnished the whole thing, and I want to see if I can go back in again. And it is letting me put more pigment on the page, even though we already burnished and everything. And I can actually create texture lines here, like for hair. It is allowing me to add texture lines into that white area that was burnished. You can't do that after you've burnished with a wax-based pencil several times. You can't go over it with the same pencil to create lines. So that's really cool. Definitely a plus in my book. As you can see from far away, these colors look very vibrant and rich when you created a low light and a highlight. In the end, my conclusion, here I'm, before I give you my conclusion, I am just showing you, I'm testing out this white by itself just to see if it's opaque enough to stand alone. I don't think so. I think you're going to still have to use maybe a white gel pen or a white Posca pen if you want a true white highlight. Now I am going to do a little bit of a blending test on the bottom of the page here, I believe, before I get to my basic conclusion. I'm just putting back this white pencil, I believe. And I'm going to pull... No, actually, I'm sorry, guys. I forgot. I decided I would show you guys some a skin tone as well. We wanted to test out a skin tone. I was trying to think of the order of how I did things here. I pulled two colors here to do like a skin tone, and one is this lighter color, and this one's like a yellow orange color, but I'm just doing this basically for blending out skin tone purposes. And we're going to color her arm. I use a light pressure to do a base. Every time I use color skin, I basically do the opposite of what I did on like the leggings. I do the lighter part. I color the whole thing the lightest color that I'm going to do. And then I put in the dark part on top of it where I think the dark should have the shadow. So that is what I'm doing here. And then we're going to take the light one and blend that in with medium pressure. Because I want to see if I can get a good blend with a skin tone. Because a lot of times we want a flawless skin tone, and we want the skin to look really good on our characters and people and stuff. So that is what I'm doing here. And now I could have used more pinky tones or more brown tones and things like that, but this is just what I pulled. And you can use the white to highlight the inner arm area or the outer arm area, wherever you think the light may be hitting, because we've already saw that the white is a good blender. And if you think you've lost some of that, you can add to it with the darker pencil, because since they're oil-based, they're letting me layer and layer and layer, as you can see. And of course, there wasn't any major debris issues as well. So that is always a plus. Overall, I am pretty happy with these pencils. I do think they are a good go-to pencil. They're definitely, I would say, a student grade pencil, but there's nothing wrong with student grade pencils. If they do a great job, that's awesome. And I do recommend these. They're around $25 over on Amazon. I checked that out for the set of the 72. They do offer a watercolor pencil as well. Here I am just putting a blotter page behind it because I want to see if we can use one of our alcohol markers that we all love to use in our coloring books on this paper. I want to see how it does on this sketchbook paper, because it did say on the front of the sketchbook that you could use markers. So I'm using this Cali Art brush marker. It's in salmon pink is the color. And I'm just coloring this leg in on the other side. I'm going to color the whole thing. I'm not very careful about coloring in the lines here. I just colored it straight, and then I thought, well, maybe I need to do a better job of coloring in the lines to see about bleed out. So I will also color the little tie in the hair just to see how the bleed out is right there. And it actually did pretty well. And since I put this paper in an inkjet printer, how it works is the ink is just laying on top of the paper. And a lot of times when you put alcohol marker on top of that, the ink will actually bleed through. I didn't find any bleed through on top of this paper, which is good. Here I am shading over marker. I just want to see how this reacts on this paper. And as you can see, I'm getting a nice little shadow here on shading. And I even grab the pink pencil and go on the opposite side of with pink, just so you guys can see the color you can create on top of marker. And then after doing this, I thought to myself, I wonder with these two colors if I could blend this yellow-orange color into a pink. So I'm taking my pink. I'm going to see if we can create a blend or a mix. As you can see, I'm going back and forth because we want to see if we can get a blend or create a new color here. A color that's not muddy. As you guys can see, I didn't do too many and like too much back and forth, but you can already see it's changing colors. We have that yellow, and then we've got like that pink, and right in the center here, we've got this like coral color starting to form, which is gorgeous. And it's awesome to know that you can use these pencils over top of each other to create other colors. So you don't need a million pencils. you can get a lot of color variation with just these 72 pencils, which is awesome, which is great for a student, especially in art school or art class, learning color mixing. And then I also, before I give my final thoughts, I also test out my black to make sure that it's a true black. But overall, I am pretty happy with these pencils, and I do want to thank the Hippie Crafter for sending me the sketchbooks and the pencils. I think they are fabulous products. I am very happy with them. I hope they enjoyed this product review. I'm not one to swatch my things. I like to give them like a real proper run through like this, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Here I am doing the black because I want to see how black it is. A lot of blacks can have an undertone of brown, blue, or gray. This particular black has a little undertone of brown, but that's okay. I do compare it to a black pen. Like, here's my black writing pen. As you can see, they are pretty dang close. So, yeah. Now, of course, the polychromos black is a lot darker, but for a budget-friendly black, I do think it's good. I'm trying to go over it with a white pencil. You cannot get a white line. It is not opaque enough to go over black, so you can't use it for highlighting over black. Now, I'm going to use this white pencil and go over the marker pen and see how it created a line. That means it is opaque enough that you could go over marker work with this pencil, and I bet you could go over acrylic paint as well, like you could with a Prismacolor. Now, it's not going to be as vibrant as Prisma, but you could go over it, and you could create like misty effects or ghosts or light shadows or whatever you want to do with white. The choices are endless. But yes, overall I think these are a really decent set for a student grade pencil. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys have questions about these pencils, just let me know in the comments. I'll answer the best I can. Check out their website, thehippicrafter.com. And again, I will leave those links in the description box. Please like and subscribe to this video if you enjoyed this content. And I will see you guys next time. Have a great day. Happy colors, everyone.